Hey kids, your deck called Tearlament is pretty alright, so I put something together to show you. Basically, Millenniumize Restrict isn't a hard once per turn, and Millenniumize Illusionist is pretty crazy in the grave, and the new Vsauce Margarita Synchro Monster is functionally more copies allowed to your back row, so I'm playing a lightsworn engine so I can make it. I know it's not called Vsauce Margarita, but I'm staring at this card, and I feel like if I mispronounce it, I'll get some flavor of demonetized, so I'm just going to call it Margarita. Alright? Alright. Charge does hard non-bow with your tier cards because it mills for cost, but its goal is just to load up the grave with random fusion fodder and ways to get value off of our fusion summons. We have plenty of ways to proc our fusions already. I don't think that charge needs to also double as a fusion spell. Fun fact about Visas, by the way, you don't actually need a non-tuner to summon it. You can use tier tuners. Like, look, I don't know if this is a mistranslation, but they forgot the word non-tuner. Anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate a quick test hand to show you what I am talking about. Alright, so here we'll be going up against Battlin Boxers with the new cards out of Duelist Nexus. And these new cards, by the way, are sick. I'm holding off on making a video on them until we see the new card, because there is still one that needs to be revealed, but I'm very excited for these cards. What I've seen so far looks amazing. You still play a lot of the older cards. It's just really fun. And also, for some reason, they made King Dempsey entirely generic, so any 2 level 4s can convert to full Infernoble combo, because I guess Wakaushi just isn't versatile enough. Anyway, our opponent will be misplaying here a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. They're going to make a very severe misplay with the counter trap. You'll see in the game. Accidentally swapped the field. They're going to normal summon Promoter and then tribute it. We're going to special summon TK by vanishing this Reinhardt. They're going to trigger Uppercutter, and we're going to mill 3 with TK. We hit another copy TK, which is going to hit Raiden and King of the Swamp. They're going to Durndal to search for a card. They're going to activate Switch Hitter to make King Dempsey, which is going to search them a copy of Sparer. They're going to detach Promoter to special summon the Shadow, and then special to Sparer to make King Dempsey, or to make Lead Yoke rather. They're going to set 1 and fire off Prosperity after going for Promoter to make these 2 level 5. I think they thought that that Commander Caesar needed 2 level 5s instead of 3, and that's why these 2 are there. This is still cross counter to negate, and this can summon any Battlin Boxers Xyz, but Lead Yoke unfortunately interacts with the trap card very, very unfortunately, so we'll be seeing that here. We're going to rip another King of the Swamp. We'll go ahead and fire that off. Our opponent's going to cross counter and protect with Lead Yoke, which will ultimately be what which is the big misplay. We're going to add Poly, then fire off Charge. We're going to hit 3. We're just hitting air. We're just hitting air to add Raiden. Raiden is going to be normal summoned, and then we'll special Sharon, milling 3 and pitching a copy of King of the Swamp. We're going to spike a Wolf and then fire Trivikarma to search a copy of Tearlament's Scream. We'll special the Wolf, activate Scream, activate Raiden to mill 2. We hit Merly and Sulyak. Sulyak is going to grab us Havness, and then we're going to fuse with the Havness into Garura, which will mill us for 3 more, triggering Meta Noise to add back TK. We're going to make Vsauce Margarita to add the field spell, which will in turn add back Havness. We'll make Geomathmech Final Sugma, fuse with Havness and Garura into Giastopelia, and then make Millenniumize Restrict, which will add back to our hand a copy of Millenniumize Illusions. We're going to walk over the field. They're going to activate Lead Yoke. We'll just punch over everything. They're going to activate Rib Gardener, which will allow us to activate MER to equip King Dempsey out of the grave. Unfortunately, this Lead Yoke is still absolutely huge, but we can just take it with Illusionist. They'll normal summon Switch Hitter, will activate MER, and they will concede. This next game, I didn't actually write down what deck it was. The only thing I had in my notes was that it just said lightsworn tearlament versus LVK Huh? And you know what? I'm remembering why. We are going first. We're going to activate Planet. We're going to add Sharon. Then we're going to recharge away the wolf. Draw 2, mill 2. We're going to special Sharon by pitching the MER. MEI rather. We're going to normal Reinhardt, mill a card, summon Restrict, add back Illusionist, overlay for Redoer, and pass turn. In standby phase, we're going to rip Skill Drain with Redoer. They're going to special Ascend Sage, normal Ice Hand, go to battle phase. We'll just go ahead and equip. In end phase, we're going to detach with Redoer to trigger a whole host of fusion summons, and our opponent will concede upon realizing that they have just lost the game. Here's another game that I just did not have many notes on. I think I was just too stunned after I played this game to write anything down. We're up against vanillas. We're up against water vanillas. They're on Tri-White, Fitting Room, Die. They're on Change Slime and Oppressed People. This is 51 cards, by the way. They pulled the Tri-White. They're also on, like, a bunch of me stuff. They're on... Look at this. They're on White Dolphin, dog. Anyway, they're gonna fire off Unexpected Die, and I expect Loci. Imagine my fucking shock when my opponent doesn't summon Loci with Die, or even, like, a Sue Ship or a Magic Key or anything. No, they summoned Oppressed People. And they're gonna fire off Enchanted Fitting Room, spiking 3... only 2 names. Right. They hit Water Spirit and Crowned. They're gonna link summon Lake Spider and then special summon Change Slime, then make a format Saryuja. They have Terraforming for fucking Magellanica and stack White Dolphin to the top of their deck, then make Tri-White. I'm thinking here that they're gonna go for another Saryuja, but no, they're gonna make Imduk, make IP, and then they're gonna make a IP Draco Masters and set Kairyushin's Dark Reef. I'm going to start off by firing King of the Swamp to add Poly, then activating copy of Screen, normal summoning Reinhardt, and milling 3 before sending a name. We're going to send Merly and then trigger TK to mill 2. We're going to make Millenniumize Restrict, which is going to trigger the Illusionist in our grave, and because we summoned it to Saryuja's link point, we're allowed to activate Millenniumize Restrict to take this Draco Masters. Because Millenniumize Illusionist is mandatory for some reason, it goes as Chainlink 1 because we're turn player. So we're going to go ahead and take the Draco Master, pumping Millenniumize Restrict to obscene levels, then pitch the Illusionist to pump it even further to 57. I don't see a reason to continue playing from this point. I just go to battle, and then our opponent fires off Kairyushin's Dark Reef, summoning White Dragon, Guard Dragon Justicia, Oppressed People, Water Spirit, and Change Slime. This mage is full charged from deck. Off the top, they're going to rip a copy of Enchanting Fitting Room. They're going to make area. We're going to fire Scream and hit just a lot. I do activate the Haveness here, but then I look in my grave and realize that I have nothing to fusion summon, and I just activated an effect that would just make Dragus Depelia. So I'm going to go ahead and add it back to my hand with Meta Noise that I ripped. Then Millenniumize Restrict is going to take the area when it attempts to activate its effect to negate. They're going to fire Enchanted Fitting Room. They're going to hit Change Slime, Nothing, Oppressed People, and Crowned. Jesus Christ. Anyways, they're going to make Marincess Coral Anemone and activate the effect. We're going to fire Haveness, milling just fucking nothing. Then they're going to make Marincess Great Bubble Reef. We're going to Trivikarma to add the planet. Let the Haveness go, and during the standby phase, they're going to activate Bubble Reef, which means that we get to take it with Millenniumize Restrict, negating the effect. This Millenniumize Restrict is at 10,650 attack points. We're going to special summon Sharon and mill just a million cards. We're just milling a million. Trigger Merly here, we're going to make Garura and pop the Water Spirit. Here we're just going to go to battle phase, punch over the Chain Slime, and get in for 10,000 damage. Next up, we'll be up against Bystial Thunder Dragon Chaos Synchro. I don't know why I keep running into this deck. I think it's the same person every time, but I just don't know. Anyways, we are going to activate Foolish Burial Goods for Trivikarma, then Trivikarma to grab Planet. We're going to activate Planet, adding Sharon, and Charge of the Light Brigade is going to add Raiden. We're going to normal the Raiden, and for some reason our opponent Druisworm's Raiden. Anyway, we're going to activate Sharon and pitch this wolf, trigger 2 in this Kashtira, and they're going to banish the wolf that we pitched. We're going to spike another wolf off the top and then overlay for Minerva. We're going to hit one. We're going to hit wolf and then hit one of the trap cards. Special summon the wolf and add TK. TK is going to banish TK to mill myself for 3. We're going to hit Fellas and Meta Noise. Meta Noise is going to add Reina Heart to hand and then make Fellas. We're going to synchro into our Margarita. Opponent Margarita. We're going to pop the Sharon to pump Margarita and then fusion summon into Millenniumizer Restrict. I should have put this in attack. That's on me. We're going to pop the Saronir with Perloreno. They're going to activate Saronir. We will negate and attach, and then we're going to, in the same chain, Illusionist to attach the Juris Worm, so that way that can't trigger. We're going to link summon Masquerena and pass. Our opponent is going to set 1 and then normal summon Chaos Switch. We're going to mill 3, hitting a Reina Heart. Reina Heart is going to be milling Merly, and Merly here is going to fuse to make Dragus Depelia, along with our unused Millenniumizer Restrict, pop the set, and our opponent concedes. For this next replay, we've lost the die roll against Virtual World. And I don't know much about Virtual World. In fact, I have yet to read a single Virtual World card except Emergency Teleport. Fun fact, by the way, if you have a high enough rarity Virtual World card, and you tell me what it does with enough confidence, you could be completely lying and I'll just believe you. Yeah, man, Nyan Nyan is Pot of Greed. Sure, go for it. That's a secret rare, and I'm just not going to question it. I don't want to read it. Anyway, we've lost the die roll, but we've got Havness, so we're probably fine. Our mills are going to do a lot, though. We're going to normal Nyan Nyan. They're going to normal Nyan Nyan and Italy. We're going to activate Havness in response to the Charge Warrior. Hit a TK. TK is going to hit Reina Heart. Reina Heart's going to mill Merly, or pitch Merly, and then mill Sharon, and then we're going to fuse, and our opponent will concede. For our next replay, we've won the die roll against Gate Guardian. Our opponent has drawn the Kaze Gem, but their hand looks pretty playable. We're going to activate Scream and then activate Planet. Planet's going to grab Merly, and then we're going to activate Sharon, pitching the Merly. We hit a King of the Swamp, which is great. We're going to activate Scream to mill 3 more. We're going to make Millenniumize Restrict and then summon Reina Heart. Reina Heart's going to pitch Solyak. Here we're going to add Havness and then mill TK. TK is going to mill 2, and then we're going to add back TK with Meta Noise. We're going to overlay for Redoer and pass. In the standby phase, we're going to attempt to add. They're going to redo our entire field. We'll activate this anyway, just for shiggles. They're going to activate Illusion of Chaos, and we're going to special summon TK. TK is going to mill a couple, and Scream is going to mill a couple more. Here we're going to hit TK and the Celiac. We're going to add Reina Heart and spike a wolf off the top from the TK. They're going to pitch Kazagen for Magician Souls, and I'm going to go ahead and equip that to MER before it gets to activate. They're going to activate Labyrinth Wall Shadow to set Suijin, and then Prisma is going to get them the last piece of Gate Guardians combined. Here we're going to special summon Havness and mill 3 just to make sure that we're not dead. They're going to attempt to walk over MER. We're going to Trivikarma for another planet for next turn. And now we are pretty much set up to take care of everything. Off the top, we're going to hit a Gamma from this Redoer, and we're going to link summon Unicorn. Right now, my immediate goal is to try and get this Gate Guardian to lose all of its material. We're going to detach Sharon for Redoer, which will allow us to quick effect fuse into Millenniumize Restrict. In a new chain, we're going to go Chainlink 1, the mandatory effect of Illusionist, and then Chainlink 2, the optional effect of Perloreno to threaten the Gate Guardians combined. They're going to negate that, because obviously. Then we'll pitch Illusionist to force out the third and final negate of combined, which allows us to attach it with Millenniumize Restrict unrestricted. Here we're going to add Merly with the planet, and then we're going to mill 6. We're going to hit Wolf and Tearlament's Kestra and a copy of Reinhardt on sequence. So we'll mill a couple more, mill a Sharon, forget that we already activated it, overlay for Minerva. Start the battle phase, they're going to pop Merly for some reason, and I guess because it was the only target. Anyways, that's going to let us make Dragus Depelia, which walks over the Prisma, and we're going to attach the driver for our Redoer. They're going to go for Shadow Ghoul. We're going to Millenniumize that, and our opponent will concede without enough ways to get material for a fuse. When Tear goes off, it still really goes off, but ultimately Tear just isn't well positioned. Loss of Kick Close is a huge hit to consistency and really, really hurts, but also, importantly, it's just really, really hard to play through a meta where the best deck is Macrocosmos Turbo, and the second best deck gets to play Bystials as part of its engine. It's just really not a great time for Tier, even though it's really good into a lot of the tech cards people are on, stuff like Book of Clear and whatnot. But like, I just don't think now's the time for tier. It's a shame. It's really fun. I very much enjoyed trying to make this deck work. I very much enjoyed my time playing it in the games that I played, but it's just not where it needs to be. So yeah,